and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OST. I do apologize for the extended downtime, but we are here, we are back, and we are nearing the end of the broadcast. We have 2 matches left, 2 series remaining. We are here with the lower bracket finals, and ahead of us is the grand finals. Wayne is waiting for the winner of this series, of this best of 5. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, top left-hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the Blue Protoss player representing Alien Esports. It is Power. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Red Zerg player looking for revenge, as this is a rematch from an earlier series in the playoff bracket. It is YoungYakov. Hello there. As YoungYakov, he's opening up with a hatch block, bearing in mind there's no pool behind this. There's no 12 pool, it's not an all-in. This is a way to disrupt the economy of your opponents. Here we go. Also, before I get ahead of myself, if you're in the chat, predictions are up and running. Get your gamba going here, as you can place your bets on who you think will take the series. Best of luck in the chat. As a reminder, this is a prediction for the entire series, not of just the game, so best of luck. Best of luck with those predictions. Coming into this, I do favor Power, but I know that YoungYakov has it in him to make a series out of this and to get his revenge. I want to believe. I want to believe. Otherwise, we are going to be settling in. Gate into Cybercore. Zealots on the way. Boys are being pulled to focus on this hatchery as best we can to eventually expand. And again, this hatchery should not complete. It should not finish. Should be cancelled. And then we could try to go for a gas steal, but last gas is now taken from Power. Oh. And there's a cancel. Whew. Does cancel in time, thankfully. No kill. Drone is forced back, and now we can expand. We can see we're going for the gas, but alas, the gas has already been taken, and Power is secure. Ooh. As YoungYakov forsake the unnatural natural. There was a probe in position, and now going for the proxy into the main. Bold move. Bold move here by YoungYakov. Going for the proxy hatchery. Now, Power should be aware that the probe is missing. I was going to say he should be aware that the drone is missing. And there we go. Now he does notice the expansion, notice the hatchery, and he does pull the boys. Adept is going to be committing across the map. Zealot as well. That means there's less to defend. But he's applying pressure. He's applying pressure to the expansion. Ling speed is on the way, pulls out of gas. We have Lings amassing here for YoungYakov. And he's looking to commit. Oh, no, never mind. He's droning. Okay. He's droning up behind this. Adept does commit to the shade. Get shut down. And will be surrounded. Whew. Yeah, clutched around there from YoungYakov. Power did overextend. Getting a lot of damage done here on the hatchery. But Power should not get a kill. Should not kill the expansion. Lings are moving out. More Lings are on the way. Hatchery can complete, but we should force a cancel though. Oh, does finish. And that's going to be a kill on the hatchery. We have a couple of Lings on the way. There's a kill. Broodlings they surround. And they barely do not get the Zealots. Whew. And that was not worth it, to be honest. Like YoungYakov to get 2 Lings in the main to kill 1 Zealot. Not worth it here whatsoever. That was a big investment. Lings, they try to flood in. Oracle's halfway done. There's the recall. Saving the Adept. Does save the Adept. 1 probe goes down. Adept should survive. And the Oracle pops out. And with that Power, he defends. Does defend. He was forced to fully wall off, which means he has to bring down his own base. His own expansion. But I'll be honest, this has been a bit of a shaky start here. On the one hand, yes, YoungYakov, he is now able to drone. He has bases, taking a 3rd base as well. He can saturate, that's all true. But looking at the results tab, that was 11 workers going down. The base is the biggest one. Hatchery fell as well. Hatchery did fall. That was a big loss there for YoungYakov. And because of all those Lings, that also did delay saturation for the Zerg player as well. As a result, I do want to give the edge to Power instead. Power getting his 3rd base. Does have a comparable, if not greater, economy here. And we'll see what Power can get done. So he does move out. Does move out across the map. Heads for the mineral line, spores in position, and the Oracle does take some hull damage. Goes for the relation, and pulls away. YoungYakov holds. Does hold for now. Still droning, still saturating. There we go, Lair at the natural. Lair is morphing in. Now taking gases. We'll see if YoungYakov goes for a safety. Oh, he does. I was going to say safety Roach Warren. Does go for the Roach Warren. No Evo Chamber. And YoungYakov, he could commit here into Roach Ravager. I think it's talk about it, but welcome 102 Wisps of Gold. A very small map, a very aggressive map as well. I mean, we've already seen some aggression out of YoungYakov. Short rush distance by ground, and the third base is less defendable. Is more exposed. What I'm getting at, we'll see if YoungYakov cuts workers at some point and commits into an all-in. We shall see. For now, he's getting a fourth. This could just be for Larva. Is taking extra gases, though. He's getting up to 6 gases. A lot of gas. And he's getting upgrades. Plus on range. Roach speed as well. Stasis is going to be going up. Up! Does connect! And decent connection. Oracle escapes. Another Stasis on the right-hand side. And YoungYakov, he is struggling. Another Stasis as well. We saw this against Wayne. Doesn't reset, though. Despite that, workers are getting caught. And the economy is being disrupted. No major damage, no major losses. But economic damage nonetheless. As he does get eyes on the Roaches, is aware. Power pulls away. Standard follow-up, we have +1, we have Blink, Robo as well. This should be for immortal production. As Roaches are massing. YoungYakov, he so far is not running up his 4th. He's up to 67 workers at his 3-base economy. He's on a 3-base economy. And that's Overlord Speed. He's going for the all-in. Overlord Speed is on the way. What is this for? German Taxi. He's going for a German Taxi. Setting up Jumper Lords. Queens are going to be moving out. Roaches as well. Oh, as we're spending a lot of energy here on clearing up creep. Here come the Drop Lords that we did mention. And here comes the 3-base all-in. Again, no saturation whatsoever at the 4th. Just for Larva. And Power is not fully aware. He's not fully aware what's going on. He doesn't see the push. Is thankfully making some immortals, but he needs more time. Has all the cannons and shield batteries on the way. And YoungYakov, he's here to break through. Stasis is denied. Roaches, they start to step in. There's a pulsar beam on the Roaches. Stasis gets triggered, gets baited. And the immortal is going to be targeted down. And with that, YoungYakov, he's breaking through. Takes down the immortal. Breaking through the stalkers as well. Ay. And brutal pickoffs. And YoungYakov, yeah, he's done it. At this one, he does break through. Power just wasn't ready. He wasn't expecting this. He was taking up into a Temple Archives, into a second Robo. Nobody needed. GG gets called, and YoungYakov, he catches Power with his pants down, and will take game number 1. GG. YoungYakov does take a lead. Again, just committing into a 3-base all-in. Power, he did not notice the lack of saturation. He did not see the army moving out. Power, because of that, he was throwing down tech. He was throwing down a second Robo or Temple Archives. He was investing in things that weren't really helping him with the defense. Because he didn't know. Didn't know what was going on. Was unaware. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're now getting into our next game. Jumping into game number 2. Now, what I will say about what we just saw here on Whispers of Gold is that this kind of all-in here is favored on this map. We just mentioned Whispers of Gold. It is a very small map, short rushes by ground. Because of that, all-ins are favored. They hit just more powerfully. They're just more impactful. They're more successful. On some of these larger maps, less so. So, strong start here from YoungYakov. I did favor him on these smaller maps. Here, coming into Ley Lines, I'm less confident. We'll see. Ley Lines is still a smaller map, larger than Whispers of Gold, but still small compared to some of the other maps in the map pool. We'll see if YoungYakov goes for another all-in. We'll see if Power is able to recognize what's going on. As spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player. The blue Protoss representing Alien Esports down in the series, dropping his first map against his opponent here tonight. We'll see if he can recover. It is Power for Alien Esports. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player. We have the red Zerg taking a lead in this series. And can he keep this going? Can he get his revenge? It is YoungYakov. Can he redeem himself? As he does open up. Goes for the natural. And this time, no proxy hatchery. There's no hatch block. Not this time. Power dips in. Does confirm that this time there is a hatchery on the low ground. And can now rest easy. As a reminder, again, the opener of last game was very shaky with the initial hatchery, with the proxy hatchery, I should say, with the hatch block, with the Ling Flood, with the initial Zealots and Adepts. Like, it was just a shaky start. This time a lot more standard. This time a lot more stable. Power just being as annoying as possible. It's going to be forced back. From here, we'll see if either player does deviate. Now, I don't really expect Power to really change things up too much. Like, we're expecting Stargate into Oracle into +1 and Blink, like relatively standard and meta style. It's from the side of YoungYakov where I'm curious. We already saw an all-in last game. Here on ley lines, all-ins can be effective as well. It is a little bit more difficult though. The rush distance by ground on this map is longer. Likewise, there is a ramp coming into the third base, so this position is more defendable as well. All-ins can still work, but again, the map is working against you. It takes that much more to overcome that. Takes that much more. For the time being, there is that Stargate. Stargate opener for Power. And Yakov back at home. Getting to link speed, throwing down his third base, droning up. Nothing crazy yet. Again, early game ZvP is, again, relatively... That's what I'm looking for. God, it's getting late here, getting late. Relatively samey, like there's not really too much deviation here. We're dipping in with a couple of Adepts, we can threaten Shades. We can maybe commit. It's on YoungYakov to keep up, and we just drone. We just drone from here. There's not too much diversity, there we go, when it comes to early game ZvP. I mean, I say that, last game we did have a proxy hatchery, so I mean, in one sense there is. Adepts take it into the mineral and they get 2 drones, but they're going to be shut down. Not the best trade from Power, trading 1 for 1. Sure was hoping for a little bit more. Oracle rolls in. So far the Queens are keeping up. So far so good for YoungYakov. Does go for a bit of a Ling runway. Hits a third. And can potentially get the pylon. Where's the Oracle? Yeah, Oracle's out of position. Pylon goes down. Nice little pickoff. Brings down the pylon. Can ideally bait out the pulsar beam. And threaten the third. Speaking of... Oh. Force back. This time we do have a delayed Roach Warren. This time faster Evo Chamber. This should be for +1 melee. And we actually might just completely skip the Roach Warren entirely. There we go. Melee is on the way. Again, the reason for melee is to actually allow you to rely on just purely Lings to be aggressive and to defend and to be active. It does give them that advantage that they need, as opposed to going for a Roach opener instead. So it should just be Lings into Hydras. Technically, Spire and Mutaplay is an option, but it's very risky. Very risky. We shouldn't see it here. As Oracles get across the map. Once again, going for the Stage Traps. This time they are denied. Another Stasis here at the natural. And this does feel like a stylistic choice here from Power. We saw it against Wayne. We saw it in game 1 as well against YoungYakov. Oh, Stasis will complete. But again, more heavily relies on these Stage Traps coming back in. Not quite as successful. Fool me one sort of thing. Shame on you. This Power, he defends against the Stasis. Roach Warren was thrown down. Interesting. And Yakov playing safe. Doesn't skip his Roach Warren. Roach speed on the way as well. Going to be committing. Going to be investing. Slings a threat and a dive. Is there any upper bracket advantage in this tournament? That is a good question. I believe there should be. Double checking here. Yes, the player that comes in from the upper bracket, which is Wayne, will have a 1-0 advantage. As the walls at the wall, Lings, they flood in. They flood into the mineral line. Pro's going to be going down. Likewise, Lings is the main. We depower everything. The Arthrosis Pylon. Blink is denied. +2 is denied. And just like that, in one fell swoop, YoungYakov, he's just all over Power. He's all over the bases. Yeah, Probe still going down. 8 probe kills, getting another pylon. Barely doesn't depower the gateways in the main. But still a massive delay here on Blink. And Power behind this on a 3-base economy, building up his Lings. Hydras as well. More importantly, that +2 timing, it's a ways off. Well, aye. It's going to be so heavily delayed. And you can see here, YoungYakov, he could be droning. He could be droning up and could be getting his 4th base saturated. He is not. He's not droning. He's cutting workers at 68 and he's getting ready for the second wave, for the second push. YoungYakov is gearing up. Once again, another Ling run by. Hits the 3rd. Stalker's moving in. Power is all in. It's all or nothing for Power. YoungYakov is ready for this. Diving on the Stalkers, trading well. Shutting him down. Oracle does fall. And he can just keep going. He can just keep pushing. Takes down the Oracle. And Power, he just doesn't really have anything left behind this. Remember, he barely has an economy to begin with. Down to 58. Blink is done, but +2 just now halfway done. Still building up. YoungYakov is trading well. He's trading well with the army. Pulling back once again. Now finally, YoungYakov is droning. He is finally saturating. And no! Once again, the wall is open. Probes aren't going down. YoungYakov, he's been amassing outside the bases. He's pushing in. In between both the natural and the 3rd. Wiles connect. Going for the production, going for the robo. And it does get depowered. There is no immortal. And Power, he just cannot fight this. Not here. Not like this. Not anymore. Prism goes down. He's down to a handful of Stalkers remaining. He has Blink this time at least. But GG gets called. It's not enough. And YoungYakov takes a 2-0 lead. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Both in game 1 and game 2, YoungYakov, hyper aggressive, is able to gain a lead early on. Here, or in game 1, of course, was a big all-in on Whispers of Gold. Game 2, we saw YoungYakov popping off with that Link Flood, then into a 3-base all-in, as he did cut workers and never joined up his 4th base, just committed then and there. So far, GG, well played. A very aggressive, very successful damage so far, but I'm curious about what the map is going to be. Coming into game 3, I do feel like maps like Ley Lines, maps like Whispers of Gold, Ultra Love, alongside that as well, are going to be favoring these more aggressive builds. Where are we dropping next? Where are we dropping? Ooh, larger map, King's Cove. This is where Power can thrive. If you remember, this was actually around the time that Wardy raided, so for those of you that maybe weren't here before the raid, then at least you are aware, King's Cove was the game where we had a 40-minute game between Wayne and Power, where he was able to get into his late game, able to out-trade and outmaneuver Wayne multiple times. That's potentially, I would say, where he does hit his stride. That's where he wants to get. Oh boy. So, as opposed to on these smaller maps, now that we're getting into a larger map, this is where I do favor Power. I feel like Power's strengths do lie in the mid to late game. If he can get there, if he can get to a proper 4-race economy, then he can start getting out of hand. But he hasn't gone there yet. This series, these matches have been very fast. He just hasn't been able to get a proper economy going. And this could be it. This could be his moment. Likewise, I feel like YoungYakov has to take a different approach. I don't like the idea of being aggressive on 3 bases on this map. I think that can be a bit of a trap, a bit of a bait, and you can fall behind. YoungYakov is not one to really embrace the late game too much, but it might be wiser to play towards a later game. We'll see. We'll see how he does approach King's Cove as our players are getting ready. But just to reiterate, I believe someone did ask about the advantage that you have coming in from the upper bracket, but yes, there is a 1-point advantage from the upper bracket. So Wayne, technically, regardless of how he's up, of who he's up against, he's up 1-0. He's up 1-0. Whether it's against YoungYakov or against Power. I know that some tournaments they have like a setup here for like another match afterwards, like another best of 3 or best of 1 as a decider. Not here. Just a score advantage. Also, fun fact, I can see the sun rising. Oh no. Those that are curious, it is 6 a.m. It is 6 a.m. here in Australia. The sun is rising. It's a brand new day. Let's go. We're still good. We're okay. We're okay. We can make it. We can make it. Oh boy. Meow. Quack. 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 Okay. But it does look like YoungYakov needs some time here. Looks like he does need a moment. All good. All good. But I feel like this map is going to be a crucial one here for Power. I was about to say, like, this is, his moment to bounce back, but he has to, right? He's down 2-0. It's a best of 5. One more loss, and he is out of the event. And Power, he's already done so well for himself, making it this far into the top 3. Taking down bigger veterans here in the scene. But now struggling in the lower bracket. Struggling. Again, I feel like part of that is the maps, is the styles he's been up against. These more aggressive builds. We'll see. As here we go. We're now getting into Game 3. Potentially the final game of the series. I'm hoping for a back and forth. I'm hoping for a Game 4, a Game 5. But the pressure is now on Power. Here we go. Here we go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of King's Cove, we have the blue Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Alien Esports, down heavily in the series. Now is the time. The pressure is on the SFI back here and now to make a series out of this. It is Power. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent leading the series 2-0, the Red Zerg player. It is YoungYakov. One more game is all he needs to claim this best of 5. But now we load into King's Cove, one of the largest maps in the map pool. You don't get much larger than this outside of Neo-Violet Square and Abyssal Reef. As you can see here, large map, a lot of bases, and likewise a little more defendable here on your 3-base setup as well. There's a reason why we did embrace a 40-minute game earlier between Wayne and Power, and I hope he's ready to do that again. potentially. And my biggest concern is that is usually where YoungYakov is at his weakest. I mean, we've seen him be hyper-aggressive so far in the series and be quite successful. But if he attempts and fails in the aggression, he will fall behind. Likewise, I don't know how comfortable he is getting to a more standard macro game against Power, as I feel like that's where Power typically does upset YoungYakov. Is where he can cause those upsets. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on YoungYakov. Now, there are other kind of cheeky ways you can play out on King's Cove. One of them here would be to play into Muta. True, would be to get into Spire Tech, to try to keep your tech hidden, of course, get it to a 3-base economy and go mass Muta and try to overwhelm and pull your opponent apart. That is definitely a viable option here on King's Cove. We saw something similar previously on El Dorado in the ZvP. On a different map, my apologies. Otherwise, 3-base all-ins can work decently well here depending on how you approach things. Basically, as we led into the map, it is very defendable on 3 bases. Your 3rd base here is on the same point of elevation as your natural. Your natural can be fully walled off here with the bare minimum amount of buildings, so it is easier to kind of wall off and to centralize and to focus your defenses at your 3rd base instead, where there's likewise another ramp coming in. As a result, it can be quite difficult to break a 3-basing player, but it is easier to break a player taking the 4th. You know, when Power does attempt to take a 4th base, that can be where YoungYakov kind of bides his time and fights then and there instead, trying to lure the army into the open out onto the low ground. That would be the idea. We'll see if we can get there. But now Stargate open it into Oracle. Oracle's on the way, and Power will expand. Just setting up for his 3rd. Likewise, YoungYakov joining up, taking his own 3rd base. Ooh, and that is an insanely fast lair. Oh my god. 335 lair timing out of YoungYakov. And we mentioned earlier that Muta play is viable here on this map and is definitely something that we could embrace. Are we feeling Mutas? Well, because this is so fast. Okay, link speed. Link speed was researched, which means technically this could be a Link Queen Nidus all-in. This could be Link Queen Nidus. Overlords are pushing a little bit farther forward. Likewise, no additional gases. My eyes are on YoungYakov. What's it going to be? I'm leaning towards either Spire play or Link Queen Nidus. As we have more Lings on the way, Queens as well. Show us that Nidus Worm. Still building up. Otherwise, we would see extra gases here. Oracle dipping in between the bases. Gets it. Oh, barely does not get a drone. And there's the Nidus. Now, my biggest concern here, Power, he did not scout the main. He doesn't see the lair timing. Again, it was an insanely fast lair. And Power doesn't know. Power, he doesn't check. He sees nothing. And this will be a surprise. This will catch him off guard. The question becomes, where's it going to be? We have an Overlord making his way into the main. We have an Overlord here outside of the natural. Alas, there is no dead space. Power, he sees everything. Lings, they distract. And that would be the ideal. Distract the Protoss at the 3rd. And Nidus into the main. These Lings, they seem a bit premature. They get a bit of hull damage. They get some hull damage on the pylon. There it is. Nidus into the main. And Power, he notices. He does pull the boys. Ideally, there would have been a distraction. No distraction. Oracle dives in. The Nidus is going to finish. Uh-oh. Only for a second, though. Yeah, it is cleaned up. It is shut down. And yeah, YoungYakov tries it again, this time outside of the natural. Outside of the 3rd. Things they break forward. Using either shield battery. Nidus does complete. Queen's on the way, they're waddling in. It's all or nothing for YoungYakov. He commits to the all-in. Behind this, a wall side defense. That is here behind the natural. Oracle putting in a lot of work. A shield battery as well. Alas, everything is Z-powered. Shield batteries are denied. Queens, they just hop on over towards the natural base. Denying more mining time. And came with the production. One queen going to be abandoned. One queen goes down. Pylon does fall. Nice force field on the ramp. Nicely done. But the natural is going to go down. Massive pickup. Okay, there's no saving this Nexus. That's in the main. Just distracts. Just distract. Ooh, there is an opening. Sentry gets targeted. Lings, they can try to flood in. A little bit of a messy assault here from YoungYakov. Lings, they peel off towards both sides. There's that blink. Power down to 10. Only 10 here though. And Queens, they're waddling on forward. As many Queens as there are Stalkers. Nice opposition Micro. Takes down six workers. Likewise, Power just microing as hard as he can here, preserving those Stalkers. And from here, YoungYakov, he backs off. He pulls away. Spinning creep on the right hand side. Power going for a ninja base. And can Power recover? Whew. He holds. Does hold on. Lane control was good enough to survive. Now hunting down the Nidus Worms. But again, there's creep beside this as well. Nidus Worms are going down. And behind this, YoungYakov is running. He's running up double gas into double expanding, 4th and 5th base. Still has a ways to go to get into a stable economy. But YoungYakov, he's getting there. Yakov is getting there. Just taking it to Hydras, maintaining map control. There's still just so many tumors. There's just so much creep. And still ain't any kind of expansion. We still have active tumors in the main. Spreading away from the Protoss. Active tumors finally going down. And again, YoungYakov, he doesn't have to push in. He's done enough damage. He doesn't have to throw away supply trying to break this location. The ninja base might be a factor, though. This is a bit of an X factor here for Power. If YoungYakov is too passive, then this base wouldn't just pay for itself. It could even give Power a lead. Still needs more time. Still building up. They do poke in, they take down the gateway, forcing a cancel. Yeah, still rotating, still containing, at least trying to. Believes he is not. He will move in. Takes down the cannon. Cannot quite engage with the main army though. Okay, rough losses here for YoungYakov. Leading out a handful of roaches. Another roach going down, 4 in total. So YoungYakov pulls away. And thankfully he's been droning. He's up to 83 workers now. Hive is almost done. Lurker den's on the way. And because of the early advantage, and because again Power, his build has been disrupted and slowed down, tells me that YoungYakov should be able to race his way and rush into lurkers without too much issue. He's far enough ahead. Getting up. Takes down the gateway. Takes down one, going for the other. bad. So he rotates. Not trading too well here, bleeding out some Hydras. But regardless, he's maxed. Yeah, he's maxed out. Can't afford to trade inefficiently. If only he knew about the... if only he knew. If only he knew about the danger. If only. Fully saturated base. Despite that, he does slow step in. Catch out the High Templar, the Stalkers, one after the other. Oracle as well. As with that Yang... Oh, he finds it! Oh, my apologies. Does find the base. There's that recall. Does come across top right. And with that YoungYakov, he's still in control. Okay, he's in control here. You have 10 Lunkers being morphed in. Morphing in 15 Lurkers. Moving out. Does move out. Does threaten the dive. Nidus into the main, distracting power. And he's breaking through. Takes down the rocks. Busts into the natural. Lurkers are here. And power, he just can't engage. Does have Storm, not bad. Storms, they pop up. Oh my god, the Storm of the Lings! Very efficient Storms. Despite that, still rough losses. Oh my god, the Immortals go down. They were within range. They were stacked up. Likewise, 13, 14 pro kills. And GG gets called. Becomes too much to handle, and YoungYakov, despite the size of the map, does commit here to the cheese, to the aggression, to the Nidus all in, and he does overpower power. GG. It's not an intentional pun. I was like... But he was overpowered, and GG, well played. YoungYakov, he will be able to overwhelm, and he will be able to take the series 3-0. GG, very impressive performance considering how the series went previously, both in this month and even in months past. I would imagine that in the first series that they played each other, we did see more passive play, more macro play instead from both players, and as a result, Power was able to embrace his more late game composition and just snowball out of control. Here, just all in after all in, all in after all in, aggression after aggression here from YoungYakov, both game 1, game 2, and game 3 as well. And with that, GG. GG, well played. It was just really unlucky here for Power. As a reminder, remember, it all began with the 235 lair timing into Nidus all in. And if you remember, the Oracle barely did not scout the main base. So despite how early the lair was, alas, Power didn't know. Power, he did not know the timing. He was not aware of the early lair. He did not know that he was in danger of aggression until it was already revealed. By then, too late. By then, too late. GG, well played. YoungYakov will claim the series, and we are getting ready here for the grand finals. It's going to be a rematch of Code for Giants Cup from a couple of months ago. Code for Giants Cup number 4. It is going to be a ZvZ between YoungYakov and Wayne. Let's go. We're getting ready here for the grand finals. And someone was asking earlier, there's going to be a best of 7 grand finals with a 1-0 advantage to Wayne. It's going to be that advantage. Here we go. Is it already Monday in Australia? Yes. It's already Monday here. Fun fact, Pegasaur Monday is on Tuesday here in Australia. The Monday night weeklies are on Tuesday, not on Monday here. Aye. Just as a fun fact. As we are getting ready for those finals, vetoes are underway, and we can take a moment here to go on a short break. To get ready here for those finals, to freshen up a little bit as well. Again, I'm a little bit fatigued, not gonna lie. A little bit, but we'll be fine. We'll be fine for the finals. We'll get there. Best of 7. We're gonna be going on a short break. When we come back, we'll have the grand finals. See you soon. See you soon.